As many San Diegans get ready for their second dose of the COVID vaccine, there are concerns they won't be able to get appointments in time. Why getting a second appointment depends on where people went the first time.
Police make an arrest in the murder of a beloved high school teacher and football coach. The connection police say the accused killer had with his victim.
Plus, with COVID variants from the UK, Brazil, and South Africa spreading in the U.S., worries that a fourth strain may be emerging in Mexico.
ABC 10 News at 6 starts now.
Many San Diegans are now getting ready to get their second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, only to hit a wall when it comes to making an appointment. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. We have heard from several viewers who are worried they won't get it in time. Our ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala goes in depth with how scheduling an appointment differs depending on where you got your first shot.
It is extremely stressful.
Some San Diegans aren't having much luck scheduling a first dose appointment for a COVID-19 vaccine due to limited supply. And anxiety is growing for others who already had the first shot, but worry they won't get the second dose in time.
They wrote February 19 to 23.
Bruce Walski got his first dose at the Chula Vista Superstation. Things went smoothly, but he says his next shot is due by the 23rd, and he's having trouble scheduling it.
Go to the vaccine superstationsd.com. You go there and it start over. It's the same form as before. There's no way to make an appointment on there. There's no way to do anything.
Fred Burlack wrote to ABC 10 News with a similar problem last week.
It was the quandary of, did they get my email address right? Do they have it? Are they going to send it to me? Who can I contact to verify? And none of that was available. So yeah, that added to the stress greatly.
His second dose date was quickly approaching after getting vaccinated at an Escondido pod, and he didn't have any clear answers about scheduling. But Monday, he called back with a positive update.
I get an email from the county saying, schedule your appointment for Pfizer, which I've got. And oh, by the way, it's going to not be in Escondido. It's going to be in San Marcos, which is fine with me. I jumped on it immediately.
While some people had no problems booking that second appointment, the different websites and information are causing frustrations for others. According to the County of San Diego, how to schedule your second dose could differ depending on where you got the first one. But
if you got a first dose, we'll get you in and get your second dose.
The county says this is how it's supposed to work. For the county-managed locations, including those pods, if you schedule through the state's My Turn website, the county says immediately after making your first appointment, you should be able to make the second. For those who had their first shot at Rady Children's, your second dose should be scheduled at the clinic during the first appointment. If that did not happen, you should get a scheduling ticket through MyChart. For Sharps locations like where Bruce went, the county says you'll get an email with a link that includes available appointments on PrepMod within 7 days from your second dose date. And for the Petco Park Superstation, you should get a link to schedule your second dose through MyChart. But we have heard from viewers that say they didn't get the link or it didn't work. A spokesperson for UCSD Health tells me their team is currently working with the call center vendor to increase staffing support due to the high call volume, but people are asked to keep trying the MyChart helpline. Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
And tomorrow, our in-depth team will dig into how the different private healthcare providers are rolling out the vaccine to their patients, as well as how San Diego's vaccine rollout compares to other countries. ABC 10 News has more in-depth stories on the vaccine rollout, along with how-to guides on scheduling appointments and a breakdown of the different vaccines. You're going to find it all on our homepage at 10news.com. Your vaccine rollout stories and questions, just send us an email to tips@10news.com.
The county's fourth vaccine superstation in La Mesa just closed for the day. It will be open again in the morning at 10 o'clock. This was its first day of operation, and Sharp Healthcare, managing the site, hopes to give 2,000 doses a day through the weekend. It won't know how many it can give next week until a new shipment of vaccines comes in on Monday or Tuesday. This site is open at the Grossmont Center Monday through Friday, 10 to 6. UC San Diego plans to open a vaccine super site on its campus next week. The university announced today the site will open at the REMAC Arena on Monday with the goal of giving 5,000 doses a day. That will depend on whether it has a big enough supply. The university says it will focus on employees and patients at UCSD Health, but it will also offer vaccines to eligible people from the community.
For the first time since November 30th, the county has reported fewer than 1,000 new COVID cases in one day. Today, the county said that 926 people tested positive. Our total is now just above 240,000. Those numbers have helped push our 14-day rolling average even lower. It now sits at 8%. The county says 10 more people have died, more than 2,600 San Diegans since this pandemic began. A new strain of COVID may also be emerging in Mexico. According to our partners, Televisa, researchers at the University of Guadalajara are looking at 4 patients in Jalisco. They suspect the new strain is a mutation of the one that first appeared in Brazil. This would be the 4th variation to appear after the ones from the UK, Brazil, and South Africa. There have been nearly 2 million confirmed cases of COVID in Mexico, but it's one of only 5 countries with more than 100,000 deaths. COVID variants have been confirmed in more than 30 states, a concern as the country now works to ramp up vaccination efforts. You can track the very latest coronavirus developments with the ABC 10 News app. You can find it in the App Store.
There is a growing memorial in North Park tonight for a high school teacher shot and killed near his home. Police say they have made an arrest in Mario Fierro's killing. Team 10 investigator Melissa Masiha explains how Fierro and the man accused in his murder may have known each other.
A prayer service Monday night for a teacher and coach, a man so many loved. Mario Fierro's Cathedral Catholic students and colleagues praying for and remembering him.
We are his family. He is a part of this Don's family.
That family waking up to the news police arrested a man in his murder, 30-year-old Jesse Alvarez. For Mario Fierro's former classmates, knowing that he's gone.
This was almost beyond belief. It was one of those things that it seemed so surreal, like it couldn't be possible.
Michael Carini went to Cathedral Catholic with Mario. They became close while on the track team together. Michael would see Mario over the years when he returned to campus to speak about his art for Career Day.
He was so kind-hearted. Everybody loved him. He was not one to draw in drama or chaos or anything like that.
According to Cathedral Catholic social media posts, Mario got engaged in December to another teacher at the school. Mario's current fiancée, who we are not naming, told a judge that Alvarez was stalking her. Alvarez was her ex-boyfriend. She filed for a domestic violence restraining order December 2019. It shows they dated for 3.5 years before breaking up. She asked Alvarez to leave her alone and was scared and feared for her safety. She named several instances where she says he stalked her. She changed the locks to her door, installed cameras. At one point, she said he attempted to break into her home. She filed a police report at that time. Court records show in the hearing for her restraining order January of last year, the judge dismissed the case. He wrote that she did not meet her burden of proof that abuse has occurred within the meaning of the Domestic Violence Protection Act. More than a year after that ruling, Mario Fierro, engaged to be married to Alvarez's ex-girlfriend, was killed. For Team 10, I'm Melissa Masiha.
Alvarez is currently in jail facing first-degree murder. He's expected for his first court appearance later this month.
Former San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer kicked off his run for governor in Los Angeles today, taking aim at current Governor Gavin Newsom.
The world used to look to California for a brighter future, but now we can't even keep the lights on. It's become the land of broken promises, and the promise breaker in chief is Gavin Newsom.
His announcement came as the effort to recall Governor Gavin Newsom grows. Those behind the effort say that they are getting closer to the number of signatures they need to force a special recall election. Governor Newsom's office has not responded to our request for comment today. In January, they sent out a statement saying, quote, Kevin Faulconer is joining other Trump supporters who want taxpayers to waste $100 million on a special election mere months before a regularly scheduled election. Organizers of the recall effort have until March 17th to gather all of their signatures. If they do get enough, a recall election could be scheduled as early as this summer. As the city of San Diego's budget strains under the weight of the pandemic, cuts could soon be coming sooner rather than later. Our partners at KPBS report the city will need to find a way to save $85 million in the next 5 months or dip into reserves. City Council member Sean Elo Rivera says any cuts should take into account which neighborhoods are suffering the most.
Because the reality is that the impact of a reduction of a library or park and rec hours is simply not the same for a neighborhood where the average family can afford tutors or enrichment programs as it is for a family that is barely getting by.
Mayor Todd Gloria has asked each city department to find cuts between 2 and 8% if needed. Any cuts would be less severe if Congress passes Joe Biden's COVID relief package.